Hey everybody, I'm ZombieJohnny, and cheers to 2025. We made it, folks. Some way, somehow, we did it. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a manga and anime that I hold very dear to my heart. It is one from my childhood, and I'm very excited to be covering it. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star, or Starward Warrior Knight Outlaw Star, yes, that's its full name, was written and illustrated by Takehiko Ito and published by Ultra Jump magazine from September of 1996 to May of 1999. Takehiko Ito was born in Kitami, Hokkaido, Japan. Age unknown. Before we start the story of Outlaw Star, I will state that there is a tie-in series named Angel Links that I don't know much about. It was released from April to June of 1999 and there is one manga volume. But we are here to talk about Outlaw Star, so let's begin. The story of Outlaw Star opens with... The story opens with... There is a small flash forward of our cast aboard the Outlaw Star. Then the story opens with our main character, Gene Starwind, having a little fun with a lady friend. His partner in crime, Jim Hawking, is knocking at the door telling Gene to finish up. Gene then leaves his lucky lady and throws his clothes on. I guess there is a bounty in town and Gene and Jim aren't going to miss the opportunity to cash in on it. He meets the bounty on the street and it turns into a firefight.
There was a firefight!
Gene, of course, is the victor, but then suddenly the bounty returns. Apparently the girl Gene was having fun with is the bounty's woman, and she replaced Gene's bullets with blanks. Gene and Jim make a break for it, and in the process almost run into a woman with an eye patch standing in the way. The ruffians chasing Gene and Jim stop to examine the woman as well. They seem to know who she is. Maybe she is someone of importance? Gene and Jim make it back to their home base and fry up some food while looking for their next bounty. Jim then gets a notice for an urgent request. They accept the job and then head out. During this scene, you really get a feel for the characters. To put it loosely, Jim is the brainiac and Gene is the over-the-top cool guy with a gun. Pretty tropey, but, cool guy-brainiac combo? Story as old as time. Gene and Jim head out to the location of the job. Hold up. Can we just admire how good this looks?
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well...
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few...
Then from the darkness appears the woman they saw earlier. The woman introduces herself as Hilda, but this quickly turns into an ambush. Gene, Jim, and Hilda dispose of the odd-looking attackers and then head into a warehouse. Hilda shows Gene and Jim the real job. It's a woman in a case. They must protect and transport this woman in the case at all costs. This is where our adventure begins.
Her name is Malfina, by the way. It's plastered at the bottom of a full-body poster. It's literally the first word to read when you open the series.
Outlaw Star's first volume sold extremely well. This, of course, brought attention to the series. Even though Outlaw Star is only 3 volumes, the popularity sparked the production of the anime. To date, the Outlaw Star manga has been translated into Chinese, German, and Italian. Though this was planned at one time, there has never been an official Outlaw Star English translation, which is unfortunate. In his early years, Takehiko Ito was studying planning and editing and began his career as a manga editor. Ito found this boring and dull, so he began drawing manga himself. He went under the pen name Hiroyuki Hataike and went on to work in the animation field.
He then went on to design Unicron from Transformers.
Ito had also worked on recognizable anime franchises such as Patlabor and The Vision of Escaflowne. He has also done character designs for the video game industry. He did move on to creating this series we are covering, Outlaw Star, and then finally joining the Marvel Comics team in 2002. I mean, seriously, what an interesting guy. Takehiko Ito's art is so aesthetically pleasing to me.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, well.
What the heck is that?
As you are reading, you will notice that this manga is much more perverted than the anime. I mean, the anime is kind of perverted. It has a reasonable amount of fan service, but the manga is unapologetic. There are beautifully illustrated mini posters at the beginning of each volume. I can only show you volumes 2 and 3 because of, well, boobs. For this series only being 3 volumes total, there was a lot of effort put into the presentation, including the aforementioned poster, a dust jacket, full-color glossy pages at the beginning of each volume. They went all out on this series. I never knew this series actually began as a manga. I had thought it was just an original anime, much like Cowboy Bebop. And with that, let's move on to the anime. Directed by Mitsuru Hongo, who has worked on plenty of series, but for me, most notably Crayon Shin-chan and Outlaw Star. He also directed an anime adaptation of the Monster Hunter series titled Monster Hunter Stories Ride On, which I never knew existed. Outlaw Star is animated by Studio Sunrise. Much like Studio Madhouse, Sunrise has a massive catalog of super popular anime, including Cowboy Bebop, the aforementioned Vision of Escaflowne, Gundam Wing, not to mention every other Gundam series. Now known as Bandai Namco Filmworks, they are a juggernaut in anime production. Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop were originally airing the same year of 1998. What a time to be alive, to be able to catch Outlaw Star and then Cowboy Bebop when they were originally airing. That would have been amazing. Of course they did that with Toonami, but I didn't grow up with Cartoon Network, so I never actually got to watch them as they were being broadcast on TV. The opening theme, Through the Night, was written specifically for Outlaw Star by musical artist Akino Arai and performed by Masahiko Arimachi. Arai's music is also featured in another anime title that I really enjoy called The Record of Lodos War. The pacing of Outlaw Star is a bit slow and scattered. The midway point of the series takes on a bit of an adventure of the week spin. Then, coming closer to the conclusion, it becomes more coherent. This is where things really pick up. Though there are fantastic episodes in the midsection, nearing the end of the series brings all the concepts together. There are some serious issues in the animation quality and consistency. Sometimes it's clean and well animated, and other times I don't know what the hell is going on. They must have run into some budgetary issues because, yikes guys, it's to the point where sometimes the characters don't even resemble themselves. Outlaw Star has some deep connection and comparisons to another series I enjoy, and that is Firefly. I won't go too deep into it, but the premise of both shows is similar, and this right here, finding the woman in the suitcase. I mean, yes, there can be influence, but this right here is straight up plagiarism. Joss Whedon, the creator of Firefly, has never really spoken much on the topic. He says that he got his influences from elsewhere. But I don't think I believe him. There was a sequel planned for the Outlaw Star series titled Outlaw Star 2 Sword of Wind, where Jean and gang go on new adventures in a new ship named the Sword of Wind. Though because of the waning popularity of the anime, it was never brought into production. Ito had also planned taking this idea and making it into a sequel manga, but that never happened either. You might be asking yourself, why is there only 3 manga volumes, a spin-off series, and a planned sequel that died in the water? Outlaw Star was one of the top-selling anime DVDs of 2006 and 2007, and was a part of the original Toonami lineup. Bandai Entertainment also listed it as one of their top 5 most popular anime. Even though Outlaw Star is considered a popular anime and it was successful thanks to the North American viewership, this was not the case in its native country. In Japan, it was not considered a success. I had already mentioned that the first volume of the manga was very successful, selling out nationwide, but after that it lost its traction, and for some reason the following volumes and anime adaptation did not succeed. All I can tell you is that Outlaw Star holds a very dear place in my heart. There are only a very small select group of anime that I was exposed to at a young age, and I hold them very close. Outlaw Star was one of them. Outlaw Star is one of the classic anime that brought Japanese animation into the limelight in North America. It is a fantastic series that I feel everyone should watch. The anime is easily accessible. There is a DVD release, a Blu-ray release, a DVD and Blu-ray combo release, and it's also available on streaming. I myself purchased the DVD Blu-ray combo when it was first released back in 2017. So pick your poison and strap in for a fantastic spaceship ride.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I've actually been working on this review for close to 2 months straight. I know that I said I was going to be slowing things down, and after this review is probably going to be taking a bit of a hit. But I figured I'd try and get one out in the month of January for the new year, just to celebrate that we made it to 2025. There is Bo playing with his Rudolph, and he is. He's playing with Rudolph. This Rudolph has a jingler in it, and I'm just gonna chuck it, and hopefully he goes away for a little. We made it through 2024. Let's have a great 2025. Hoping to get my new computer soon and start making new videos and new reviews and things like that, because the old computer it's definitely on its way out. But I want to do a quick mention to Barefaced General Store. Their shirt is what I'm wearing now. A friend of mine, along with his group of friends, run a store called the Barefaced General Store, and they make awesome apparel and stickers and hand-painted signs. They make amazing things, and I just wanted to give them a shout out because we got a few of their items delivered to us, and they're absolutely amazing. They're all stunning, and the shirt, one of my favorite shirts, super comfy, cozy, plus the graphic on it is awesome, all done by an artist that I personally know. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all once again for watching. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Let's have a great 2025. Hopefully I can get new reviews out real soon. New videos, new reviews, whatever we're doing. Let's have a great 2025. Thank you so much for watching. I'm ZombieJohnny. Peace.